Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will cover the singleton pattern using the one app which is called the centralized device manager, and we will need to understand how it is working this design pattern, what problem it is solved, and how we can understand by using the diagram, and also we need to understand by storytelling at the end of the video. So let's get started. So have you ever wondered why some softwares run smoothly while other become the less conflict and inefficiencies? Well, the secret lies in the something called the singleton pattern, a way to ensure that only one boss managing everything. In a software, multiple manager controlling the same resource can lead to the chaos. So singleton pattern prevent this by allowing only one instance of the manager to exist. No matter how many times you call it, you always get the same instance. So what kind of a problem statement we are addressing? So in a system, we are managing the multiple devices, and having the multiple instance of the device manager can lead to the resource wastage, inconsistency, and complexity. Resource wasting means multiple instances consume the unnecessary memory. Inconsistency means different instances may hold the different conflicting the states, and complexity basically it will contain the debugging and maintenance becomes the difficult. So singleton pattern ensure that only one instance of the device manager exists and coordinating all the devices efficiently. So how it is work? So first of all, we just need to understand without the singleton pattern. So let's writing the code without the singleton pattern. So switch to the VS Code. We can create one folder which is called the singleton pattern, and inside the singleton pattern we will create one folder which is called the without design pattern. We will create one more file which is called the main.co. Then afterwards we will start writing the code. So first package main import fmt type device manager craft name string. Then afterwards function new device manager name string device manager, and it will return the device manager instance with using of name we can pass here. So and device manager along with name. Then afterwards function main manager 1 new device manager 1 manager 2 and simply we will print message print and first device manager 1 dot name. Okay, import fmt we need to define once again. Import fmt manager 2 dot name and open in an integrated terminal. And what you can do here, it is go run main dot go. So here in this code, basically it will return the all the object newly created. So there is no one single source of object creation. When we are actually calling the function, it will actually returning the multiple instance with the newly created variable. And now we will understand with design pattern implementation using of singleton pattern. With design pattern So before going into the with design pattern, we will understand the both of the we will understand it will actually returning the same memory address, or it will actually basically it will create a new instance every time. So we will compare it so that we will understand this is the perfectly created the new instance or not. So comparing the memory address, here it will return the always new instance. If manager 1 manager 2 both are the same, then both are the same address. Else different instance. So now once again we will comparing this manager1 and manager2 string to ensure that it will create a new instance or not. So it will return the different instances. Now coming back with the with design pattern. So how we can improve? This is the messy code. We do not know who is actually handling the which kind of a resource, and it will actually giving the wastage resources, because each manager actually taking the one resource each and every time. So resource actually wastage here. So how we can actually prevent all this thing? And also it will basically memory wastage here it is created, because each and every time it will create the new instance variable. So how to prevent this thing? By implementing the singleton pattern. So what we can do here, once again we will write this code, and how we can improve it. We will copy paste this code, and here I have already created one folder which is called the with design pattern, and here I have created the main.co file. What we can do here, it is here it will create the single instance variable, and we will create only one time variable with the uh, device manager, so that we can prevent our wastage resources, like memory leak we can prevent. Then afterwards, basically centralize access to the devices. We will also reusable functionality, we can improve it. We do not need to make it code broke and once again we will fix. It is a centralized approach, so it is a very easier to maintain and ensure the single responsibility. So now coming back to the code, instance device manager. Here we will create one string dot once. So here it will import this library. So sync is a standard library package that provides the basic synchronization primitives to manage the concurrent execution safely. It helps to prevent the race condition and ensure the proper coordination between the Go routines. So sync once ensure that the piece of code runs only once. Okay, so it will basically it is a prevent, it helps to prevent risk conditions and proper coordination between Go routines. Okay, now here we will once again add the comment here that ensure that piece of code runs only once. And coming back to the code, what we can do here, it is we will use once do, then afterwards inside the function we can use inner function, we can use, and here we will return the instance and what we can do here, it is instance. We will simply return our device manager and device manager variable, and we will return the main device manager fmt print. So fmt package we have used for the print our messages. So initializing device manager here we will rename it name as a cat instance. Now I think we have done this code. Now we will run this code. So what we can do here, it is once again go to the folder, open integrated terminal, go run main.go. Yeah, so now you can see we have created second once again we will run this. So initializing the device manager, first device manager is a main device manager, second device manager is also main device manager, and both are the same address. So this is how we can prevent our memory leaks, as well as we will actually maintain our resource wastages. So this is how the singleton pattern we have implemented. Now we will understand by theory. So it will prevent the resource wastages, inconsistency, complexity. This is how it looks like the structure. So basically, what kind of a problem statement we are addressing right now using the singleton pattern? Multiple instance issues. So when we are creating the new device manager, it will actually creating so many multiple instances that is causing to multiple instance issue. Then afterwards we will actually have a global access and coordination. For example, we have we need to make one centralized device manager app. So at that time singleton pattern is perfectly suit with this requirement. Then afterwards efficient memory usage. So we will actually multiple instance we will consume unnecessary memory, so it will prevent that kind of a efficient memory usage. Then afterwards, easier to maintain maintenance and scalability. So managing the multiple instance increase complexity, but when we are implementing the centralized state management app, it will scaling and maintain very easily. And fifth one is consistent device management. It is a basically decentralized control leads to the duplicate and on missing devices. So Singleton ensure that all the operation go through the single and reliable instance. So how does the singleton pattern it is working? So singleton pattern ensure that only one instance of the stock or class it is created, and it will provide the global access to it. In the Golang, this is the typically done using the sync ones. So in the code, we have already implemented sync ones, so which ensure that the instance is initialized only once and even in the concurrent environment. So where it is used in the real world application, so it will implemented in the Aadhaar card system. It will prevent the duplicate Aadhaar entries by linking all the data to the single UID DAI database, UD database basically. So this one, and then afterwards FASTag toll system. So whenever we have passing from the toll plaza with a car and vehicle, at that time it will actually single account link for the toll payments. Then afterwards ISCTC railway booking, it will also have implemented the centralized ticketing systems, and also UPI payment when we are transaction are processed through the single banking server instance to the maintain the consistency. So we will take some break for 1-2 minutes. So coming back to the diagram first. So here it is a device manager which have a name of a string and singleton instance that we have created using the two variables which is called the instance that actually referencing the device manager, um, and then afterwards once, which is actually using the sync.once to ensure that only one instance of environment it is one instance of the variable it is created, and get instance it will fetching the uh, ensure that only one instance it is created. So every time it is created only one instance when we are requesting the resource. So that is the reason get instance can help to make one resource at a time. Now where is this used in the real life? So Aadhaar card system, as we know that every time you apply for the Aadhaar card, new record was created instead of linking to your existing one. So Indian government uses the centralized system to prevent a duplicate Aadhaar entries. Then afterwards, toll plaza FASTag. Every vehicle has the one FASTag account linked to the payments. So if a multiple tags existed for the same vehicle, it will be the chaos. Then afterwards, railway ticket booking. So imagine that two different server processing the same ticket request, double booking and refund issue is a uh, it is a making a mistake here. And singleton manages the centralized ticket allocation, so that when passenger actually request for the ticket, multiple passenger actually make the request for the ticket at that time, it will ensure that uh, allocated to the passengers that is actually making the request first. So that is the reason it will help to manage our centralized ticket management using the singleton pattern. Then afterwards, UPI payment system. So every UPI app like Google Pay, Phone Pay connects to the single banking server instance, ensuring that consistency in the transaction. So now understand the singleton pattern by using the storytelling. So imagine that you live in the big Indian joint family, parents, uncle, aunts, cousins, and even ever the smiling grandmother who remembers everyone's birthday. Now, in every Indian household, there is always one person who called the Babuji. No matter how many members are in the family, and Babuji is the one and only decision maker for all the important matters. Be it a wedding budget, buying the new car, planning the next big family trip to Goa. So if every family member try making their own decision, it will be the chaos. One wants to Maruti, another wants to a Royal Enfield, and the kids are voting for the PS5. So this is how we can relate to singleton pattern. How does this relate to the singleton pattern? So in software terms, Babuji is the singleton and single instance that controls and coordinates everything. The family needs one central authority to prevent the conflicts and maintain the harmony. So problem before singleton, chaos in the family. So let's say every family member manage their own expense separately, then leading to the wastage of resources. For example, four different people order four different milk packets instead of the one bulk orders. And then afterwards, confusion. Some pay to electricity bill twice while others forget to altogether. And inconsistency also we will see. Dad wants to new fridge, mom already ordered the one online shopping carts, and that becomes a chaos when each and every person making their own decision, but there is no one person who can guide actually making on their own decisions. So that is the reason in that case it is a um, very actually elder members we can who can decide the which is the right priority to give and make their own decisions. So similarity in the software application, if the multiple instance of the class like database connection, logger, and configuration manager exist, it leads to the high memory usage, inconsistent states, unnecessary complexity. Now we will go for the conclusion, final conclusion. So singleton pattern ensure that a single instance control that the resources. Then also it will prevent the memory wastage, inconsistency, and conflicts. And it will also used widely in the banking, railway, and identification system. By implementing the singleton pattern, we maintain the structure, efficient, and scalable application. So this is how we can understand the singleton pattern. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the subscribe button. For more videos, you can subscribe, and in upcoming videos we will cover the factory method, which actually using the smart appliance factory method. So in upcoming videos, we see you soon.